What is up, people? Matt here again. So this is going to be kind of a gaming topic video, but also it's more of a discussion video, to be honest. So today's discussion is going to be about cheats for games. So basically we're going to be going over any kind of cheats, that you used when you were playing games, back in the day. Cheats have well, they haven't died out now, but they're not really codes anymore. They're just sort of unlockables in the game and stuff like that. So back in the day, PlayStation 1 era pretty much, and PlayStation 2 era to an extent, you had to kind of seek out the codes for yourself to use in the game. Now, these were a bit less popular, but they still did the trick. So the first type of cheats that we had back in the day were cheat discs. So basically you'd put these in, the PlayStation, and then you'd put the disc that you want to play in after it, and you can select the cheats from the menu to load up the game. It says on here top PlayStation games: Final Fantasy VIII, Gran Turismo, Metal Gear Solid, all those sort of games, Resident Evil, Tekken, Tomb Raider. And then there's another one here for PlayStation and PlayStation 2 again. So they were pretty good back in the day. If you didn't want to, put the codes in yourself, you just kind of press a button on the menu and the codes appear in the game. But the more, the one that a lot of us remember a bit more fondly and we used a bit more were the cheat books. So I haven't kept all my cheat books over the time. But that's a bit ironic. So first page I went to Spyro the Dragon cheat codes for like unlimited abilities, big head mode, all that sort of lovely stuff. So I used to use these a lot. Flat mode, get every ability, black Spyro, blue Spyro, all the colour Spyros, level select, cheat death, a demo for Crash Bandicoot, warped. So that's mental when you think about it. They hid demos in the game. Klonoa, that's one of my favourite games of all time. I didn't even know Klonoa had cheats. That's pretty cool. So that's just a little book. And I've got more books from the magazine that I used to use. The cool thing is they actually had like a mini picture down the side when you collected all the books. But I lost some of them, years ago. That's probably one of my oldest ones. As you can see, it's a bit worn. Got old Sir Daniel Fortescue on the front, and the Heihachi from Tekken, obviously. But it was just insane. They bothered to put all these cheats into these books. It's crazy when you think about it. So this is a bit, getting a bit more bigger now. 1,000 cheats for the PlayStation 2. I mean, Christ. You don't even, you're not even going to ever own all these games. I mean, Gran Turismo, Lego games, it's insane. They're all cheat codes. They're not, some of them were a bit shy, they gave you more hints instead of actual cheats, but the majority of them are like level select or input this code, to do this effect. I mean, let's be honest, we all use like invincibility cheats back in the day and all that stuff. Let's not lie. Now this is actually an Xbox one, the original Xbox one. This might actually be the first ever Xbox cheat one I actually had. Buffy Chaos Blaze, that was one of my favourite Xbox games back in the day. Just telling you how to unlock stuff. So there's not even cheat codes for that. It was just telling you how to actually unlock stuff. In case you didn't know how to. Vice City, that's when, look at all those codes for Vice City. It's insane for GTA. Pages and pages dedicated to it. Halo, how to unlock the alternate ending. Insane. Ninja Gaiden, that's hard as shit. Just telling you how to do stuff. Atugi, I love that game. Well, I love the second one. Soul Calibur 2, that sort of stuff. All the Star Wars games, House of the Dead. That's pretty cool. I used the Wolverine one a lot. There's another Xbox book there. Didn't use that one a lot, I don't think. Sudeki, got that. But that's another one with cheats in. More PlayStation books. Another Xbox one. Another Xbox one. Another Xbox one. More PlayStation ones. PS2. This is a pretty old one. A to Z for the original PlayStation. So you got Crash and Spyro on there, and then some shitty football player. Classic old. These are, there you go. Final Fantasy 7. All the all the tips and tricks to unlocking stuff. Crazy stuff. Really, when you think about it, back in the day. If you were stuck on something, there was probably a cheat for it. There's probably a cheat you could use to get through the game. And back then we didn't have achievements, so achievements weren't blocked or trophies weren't blocked when you used them. So there you go. San Goku Muso, or which is actually Dynasty Warriors 1, telling you how to unlock all the extra characters. So that's it's insane when you think about it. Another PlayStation 1, which is kind of a funny ad on the back with a guy holding up a game. What is the game? Doomed, apparently. Never heard of that. Grave Station. This is actually one of my favourite books that I actually used to use. I've got no idea who that is on the front, but that was a pretty good book. Now this is pretty cool. So so you got the biggest PlayStation 2 cheats book ever. And then you've got the biggest PlayStation 2 cheats book ever 2, which was pretty cool. So pretty much, if you had these two books, you were probably going to find a cheat for your PlayStation 2 game if you were that stuck. Now the last two actually, they probably are my oldest ones, which is pretty funny. So this is one of the older ones. I've even got stickers on there. So the Ox King from Dragon Ball. Just because, and that's, I can't even remember what they were called. Bones, Crazy Bones, were they? I think that was like a stick of Crazy Bones. That was one of the books, but this is probably the most memorable one I actually have. All pretty much battered now with Crash on the front, obviously. It was a really cool book though, and this has got all the games in there. The Crash games, the Dooms, the football ones that are shite, Klonoa, Medieval, Mortal Kombat, Nightmare Creatures, Pandemonium, Parappa the Rapper, Rascal, all of the stuff in this one. But those were all the cheat books and stuff I kept from years and years ago. So to all those that watch this, feel free to do a video talking about cheat books or cheats that you used to use in the game. If you didn't use cheats, then do a video saying no, I never cheated, although I do find that hard to believe. This video is more aimed towards a YouTuber I watch called Twit the Shred. He's a pretty cool guy. He's a couple of years older than me, but I'm pretty sure he would have used cheats back in the day. And also Curly Curly, because she's maybe a couple of months or a year older than me, but she grew up in the same era as me with the PlayStation and the PS2. So I'm pretty sure she also used cheats or cheat books back in the day, or looked them up online if we had online back then. I can't remember. But yeah, those were all my cheats that I used to use for the older consoles. For the newer stuff, we looked up all the cheat codes online, because cheat books are dead now. Back then, brilliant stuff, but now people wouldn't buy them. They're not worth it. Just look them up on the internet. Anyway, as always, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye now.